But here we go. Wes on the Koji is going to get the spawn weapon. Fiend was right next to it, but I think he was expecting Wes to throw out a move or the opportunity to throw out that nair and catch him. Oh, good spacing, avoids the side sig. But Wes in the offstage, clashed out, and Wes is going to fall.
Yikes. That is not a good first stock for Wes. He was already losing it in terms of the damage that he was taking, and then just got straight up edge guarded. And it wasn't even like that fierce or that intense or that much commitment that went into that edge guard. It was very little, and Fiend was able to take that stock. Wes coming out here, like this is what Wes almost looked like against kind of Ackerman, so I'm back to being worried.
Yeah, Wes is definitely having a little bit of a sloppier day today, but at the same time, Fiend suddenly looking a lot better. He's been throwing out, another fall from Wes. Fiend, is he going to 3-stock game 1 in this matchup against Wes?
Back-to-back neutralites. Unarmed, though, so it's not going to be a lot of damage. Still unarmed. Fiend controlling the weapons.
Good spacing from Fiend. Goes for the read with the N-Sig. The stars come out. Fiend just getting so much damage built up onto Wes. What is going on with Wes? Wes is the top seed. He's the #1 PR in South America.
Yeah, this game just needs to be forgotten about immediately. Wes needs to be a goldfish with a 10-second memory, and he needs to just wipe this away, pretend it never happened.
Every time I bring up that stat, Creed points out that it's like 11 months.
Yeah, but like, who cares? Creed isn't on the microphone to defend himself right now, so he's just wrong.
Either way, 94 damage put out from Wes. A really rough first start as Fiend does get the 3-stock. And like you said, Wes has to wipe that from the memory books as he makes the swap over to Artemis.
This is a interesting choice. He is using the Battle Pass color scheme, hoping that's going to give him what he needs. Let me pull up Brawlhalla to see how his Artemis is looking.
It's an interesting pick. We saw the Volkov earlier, was looking pretty all right. It was generally a little bit more axe heavy. We've seen his Ulgrim time and time again. And of course, he's got a great lance, but it's still interesting to see the Artemis in 2021. You don't see a lot of people pull out the Artemis.
So Nyx is his 4th highest level legend, so he does have a lot of time on the Scythe. Of course, you mentioned the Ulgrim as well. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, pick the Artemis, definitely, absolutely. Start off with this. Scarlet is actually his most leveled legend, so he has 2 extremely high Lance characters and a high Scythe character as well. Artemis is level 45, so still a lot of time spent on this Artemis specifically.
Okay, he's putting in the work. Looking pretty all right. Much better than he did in the previous match for sure. Fiend going for a hard read there with the ground pound. Would have been some nice damage. Not necessarily a knockout, but could have been the threat of one. Finish. Jensig and Wes with the turnaround. Sair is going to take the first stock.
You might have to be more careful about how greedy he gets here. You saw that ground pound come out earlier, and now he went for that signature over on the edge, and Wes capitalized on that, punished it for a stock very quickly. That, even with the bounce, is almost going to KO.
They were pretty far to the left there, the neutral light. Then Wes flying. Wes really wanting to get that extra credit, but Fiend not really allowing it. D-Light recovery not quite enough. Fiend wants to even this up immediately. Still not enough.
Wes needs to be careful. A couple of these moves that he's throwing out, he's going for these strings that aren't true options, and we've seen Fiend wake up with the gravity cancel D-Light, so he does have to be careful about that. And we're getting word on the matchup history specifically between these two players, and it does not look good for Wes. It is 16-6 heavily in Fiend's favor.
I want to know if you filtered that into just the past year, what that would look like, because as far as I've seen in terms of the past year, it's a little bit closer to a 6-6. Right now, though, Fiend looking to push that advantage even further, as he does have the damage advantage and weapon advantage, but this is what I'm talking about from Fiend. When he's got someone close to kill percent, he just starts pressing the heavy button, going for gravity cancel D6 in all sorts of wonky spots, but he gets the clean 3-piece for the damage and the knockout.
Now, Fiend is in a pretty good spot here. Scythe is coming out the side light. You saw him. He's only in the orange on this second stock. Now he's in red after that down air, using the active input to get him over to the edge of the recovery. Wes actually pulled out of the ground pound. The recovery came through. Wes does find the KO. Has around 50 damage on this stock, maybe a little bit more as he is in the yellow at this point. Weapon spawn comes in. Fiend grabs it, but he does take a hit.
Both of them. Final stocks. Fiend gonna find the end sig. Still getting hits. Wes punishes the down sig, but that is a soft punish.
There's 2 hits. Fiend sent over to the edge. He recovers very quickly. Wes not putting out a lot of pressure on the corner just yet. Swapping out his weapon over to another side. Hits a nair. Gets him over to the edge again. Fiend gets back very quickly. The edge guarding from Wes has really not been that strong.
The Fiend just immediately goes back towards the stage, and Wes is not being able to punish him for it. The kill percent here. Nice weapon toss to stop the D-Light. Fiend just needs a 3-piece. He's going to go over to the Katars, the less consistent knockout tool.
Weapon spawn comes in. Oh, man, that was close to hitting. Again, goes for the low option. Fiend actually goes high this time. Gets back pretty easily. The neutral light. Fiend still in the orange here against Wes. Hoping the side heavy's going to connect that neutral air. Puts Fiend into the red.
Fiend is taking his time, not throwing out too many attacks. Doesn't want to get caught in recovery frames. Misses the punish. Wes get a neutral light, and suddenly this is doable for either player. Both of them in the red. D-Light recovery. Fiend takes game number 2.
And you saw at the end, the edgeguard situation that Wes went for was basically them just trading places. He was like, I'm on the main platform, you're over on the edge. How about we just completely swap? And then you're on the platform and I'm on the edge. That is a very interesting choice for Wes to go in.
Sounds like a great trade.
It's not. It's a very bad trade for Wes to go for. Didn't even throw a weapon toss down. I don't know, man. I don't know if Wes is regressing to what happened earlier against kind of Ackerman. I want to see what we saw against Lopez.
So here's what I'll say about Wes. We didn't have a lot of time to talk about what's going on with Wes, just because they jumped straight into the map bans and things. Got to respect the fact that the players just want to play. But the fact that Wes has basically swapped characters every single game that he loses, basically played 2 or 3 characters per set, it feels like he's not confident in any of his characters. And a non-confident Wes is a Wes that's going to be struggling to tread water. Like that lack of confidence in a pick, it makes me nervous for the future of Wes of this turn, at the very least.
Now, the Wes fans in the chat will be happy to see this Macho Man coming on. They've been asking for it all day. Every time he's on screen, anytime he loses a game, they're like, why are you not playing the Ulgrim? Play the Ulgrim. That hasn't been the trend here recently. Like in the last tournament, who was he playing? I ended up writing it down. There's a lot of characters.
He had a Taros.
It was Ragnar. It was Val. It was a Suri in 1v1s.
Yeah, he's definitely playing wheel of characters. I mean, even today, he's played quite a few. The Koji, the Volkov, we just saw as well. Like, there's so many different characters that he's played. And he's hoping that this one is going to be the one to keep him alive, because he is 1 game away from getting knocked out, and Fiend earning a spot in the top 3.
Yeah, where's the Volkov, by the way?
I mean, I don't know.
I totally forgot about that.
Right now.
He locked in the Koji, and I was like, okay, it's the West Koji. And I just completely forgot about the Volkov that he used against Lopez really well. Think about all the signatures that would have been in like the perfect spot on Crystal Temple, like covering so much area around the soft platforms and the main platform. Like, where's the Volkov?
Well, Wes having a little bit of an identity crisis, and Fiend taking full advantage as he takes the first stock in commanding fashion. Fiend is just going to run away with this one at this rate. This is able to pick up the axe. Do with it.
Oh, right in the spot to not get hit by that. Even had the iframes in the beginning of it too.
A Fiend just having so much invulnerability inside of that. Again, the D-Sig comes out from West. Fiend was trying to go over the corner. You saw him with the movement. Dunk down, and Fiend might take another one. Yes, he will. Fiend is sitting pretty with 3 stocks to the 1 of West.
Yeah, West is getting rolled here. Fiend is just outplaying him so well. We aren't seeing any of the confidence of Wes. We're seeing some of the wild signatures come out that aren't even close to hitting the neutralite. Going to do his best to fight back in this. He goes deep with this one.
No!
He's just going to get completely rolled over here on the edge. The weapon toss, still not going to have enough. Fiend's able to get around it.
He is thankful he did not burn too much movement before going for that recovery. Fly charging a D-Sig. Wes is panicking here. The chase dodge.
Oh
Fiend
my gosh.
with the 3-stock. Fiend is going to close out the set and lock Wes into the top 4 position.
Dude, what's up with Wes today?
That is a whole different Wes.
That's tough to watch.
In the bad way.
Yeah, that's really tough to watch. You saw the amazing set of Wes versus Lopez, and then you see him just get destroyed here. Just like you kind of saw Ackerman get destroyed. Like, what is happening? Late bracket here with South America. Very interesting outcomes.
You know, it might be getting late. I don't know where they are in the South American region, but maybe it's just getting late in their time zone. They're getting a little bit sleepies. Maybe they need to eat a Snickers and get some food inside their tums. I don't know if they've taken that time in between these breaks, but either way,